In today's video, we will dive into why the player character decided to come back to the Playtime Co warehouse after all these years. I will go over the comment that sparked this thought, along with the two theories that the commenter and I share as to why we, the player, came back. But first, let's hear from today's sponsor, Jerky Pro. Jerky Pro is an American-based beef jerky company. They are FDA, USDA, and SNAP food stamp approved. They have amazing deals going on right now, like 2 1-pound bags with 2 additional 3-ounce bags for $80. Or my personal favorite, the Variety Bundle, which includes 10 assorted 3-ounce bags. But they don't just stop at beef jerky. They also have normal household groceries like meats, breads, and energy drinks. They are partnered with Texas Roadhouse and Omaha Steaks to bring you high-quality steaks that you can also buy in bulk. If you use my code DARNBLUECRAB with a capital DBC, you will get 5% off of your orders at checkout. Thank you again to Jerky Pro for sponsoring this video. First things first, let me show y'all the conversation that started me down this rabbit hole. Thank you to Landy Landerton the Gamer for the comment. As you can see, we both share this sentiment that one way or another, the prototype needs the player character at the facility. Remember back to chapter 3 during the PTS horror dream sequence when we heard the news reporter on the radio directly address the player, stating, "You came in here and you kill and murder. You pillage and destroy. Your presence was demanded 10 years ago, and you didn't show up. 8/8/1995. You were supposed to be here. Why weren't you here? You missed the event. You missed the meeting. You missed the party. You have no right to be here." The first theory that we are going to go over today to possibly explain why the player wasn't there during the Hour of Joy is actually backed by the Poppy Playtime Wiki. The wiki states, on August 8th, 1995, the player did not show up for work due to feeling ill. That was according to an unused synopsis of Chapter 1. The source also claims that upon arriving at the factory the next day, they saw military vehicles guarding the building, as everyone inside had disappeared. Following that day, they seemingly did not attempt to search for or contact other employees of the factory. Instead, they avoided the abandoned factory for a decade. Now, I understand that since it went unused in the game, it is hard to say whether or not it should be used for canonization or overlooked because it went unused for a reason. Regardless, we simply can't ignore the possibility that the player got the luckiest case of the flu ever. But if that were me, and I saw military vehicles guarding the factory that I used to work at, I would have found the first flight out of there and started my life over from scratch and burned that part of my life with the building. I wouldn't bring it up, and if somehow, some way I got recognized out in the wild, I would feign ignorance and state, "You got the wrong person." Let's change gears and talk about the second possible theory as to why the player was not at the factory for the Hour of Joy. That being that we knew the Hour of Joy was coming and wanted to get the heck out of Dodge before everything went down. That seems to be the most likely outcome because of how all of the bigger bodies that we have come across have recognized us, and not a single one of them seemed happy to see us. They seemed to enjoy what they were putting us through, as if it was some sort of payback for something that we had done to them in the past. As the comment theorized, and I have heard the theory echoed by others, that it was the prototype that sent us the letter back in chapter 1 that kickstarted this whole journey. If that were the case, why would the player return to the factory? One reason is that the player could be suffering from survivor's guilt. One of the symptoms of survivor's guilt is the feeling of regret. Following a trauma, people may also experience the feeling of regret. They may ruminate over the events that took place and think that there are things they could have or should have done they think that would have altered the outcome. This rehashing of events can further exacerbate feelings of guilt, particularly if people feel that their actions or inactions may have worsened the consequence. In many cases, this rumination is influenced by what is known as hindsight bias. People look back and overestimate their ability to have known that the outcome of an event. Because they feel they should have predicted what happened, people may become convinced that they should have also been able to change said outcome. There are times when guilt may have a legitimate cause, such as causing an accident that led to another person's death or injury, but in a lot of these instances, there is little or nothing that a person could do to prevent or change the outcome. With that explanation in mind, it is not that far out of the realm of possibility that the player had felt that they could have changed the outcome of the Hour of Joy, especially after we saw how it all went down. Rip Preston. And that they got the letter in the mail claiming that the missing employees were still here. They returned, thinking that they could have atoned for what happened 10 years ago and be able to rewrite history, so to speak. But those are our theories. Sound off in the comments if you think that we are onto something or are completely off our rockers. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more Poppy Playtime theories. This has been Darn Blue Crab the Theorist, and I am signing off. Peace.